This is what comes out of the rivers, whether it's ground level, like in, outside of Sacramento, the original California Gold Rush, or up in the Yukon,
Oh, they're still panning.
the rivers.
Oh, sure. Yeah,
This happens to be the rivers, except down several hundred feet or more, because it was the buried rivers from millions of years ago, which is, and I hadn't realized there was placer gold down several. I mean, it certainly makes sense when you think about it. But
sure, because I like to talk like a fossilized river. You know, it was sitting there, and all of a sudden this huge lava, and it wasn't just lava; it was basically mud. These big mud, volcanic ash and mud and flows that just inundated the landscape, hundreds of feet thick.
Covered it. Hundreds of feet thick, and maybe various times over millions of years.
Deposition over periods like that. Then you'd have erosion in between, and so that was the other factor. That's where you get into the volcanic thing. You know, like you'd have the first generation, and it would wash, cut new rivers, cut through, rob part of the old one, leave the old ones behind. You know, wherever to cut through, and that in turn to get covered by another level of lava. And but during the summer, this is really welcome.
This is what I was talking about. It's an extra copy.
Oh, the net map.
Yeah, and I don't. We can send you that as an email, actually.
Yeah, because that's
All the safety agencies are just kind of letting us use it during the rehab phase and stuff, but we're going to have to put small piece of stuff we thought we might do the job, and unfortunately. And we had ATF inspected them, so they've been out here and done the inspection. So we've got you basically said everything's fine and approved it, and now it's just back to their offices to go through their. Then they can have another transfer switch when they're just running lights or regular stuff. They'll run the 20 kilowatt. Then they want to run the plant or the ventilation system or something, they run the 72. And then if you really want to say run the plant and the ventilation system and a bunch of other stuff, then you fire up to 250. So this way you kind of step, because
you can have with what you need rather than
exactly. And that's where the Robinson was bringing out 2,500 or 2,000 gallons yesterday, or on all over, like the other way properly, but somebody was neglected to do that. On the earthquake. Okay, now this one actually, that chain, there's supposed to be a chain that chains this to the wall, but it's this one all over. The other one properly. So that's where the dumps it down in there, that it slides down in the bin. And this was the safety mechanism they came up with to make the, so this way you can dump the cars without having an open area that people fall onto. So just a pretty simple, and they call it a lift gate. And it's a pretty cute little setup.
They dumped the car.
I just set the laundry tub in here, lift these up, use a hose, wash the material in the laundry tub, hose it all back down, you're back in business. And what they do is they turn off the conveyor, they'll turn off the sluice box while you're doing that so you don't get fresh material. So you can have a continuous operation this way. Material that goes on to the waste, and the stuff that doesn't get the water, which runs out in the pond. And so the main settling, they're going to put a new wall, and it was just like a tree with wood halfway across the pond. Then from there, actually what we're doing, our current permits, now we finally upgraded our reclamation plan, because when you asked about permits earlier, our primary permit is a plan of operations for the Forest Service, because our operation, all of our operating areas, done brand new in the 90s. This was used equipment in spectacular order. Then you just get a whole line of gold coming off these things. A lot of the infrastructure, main buildings, you know, the stuff, they put in a lot of infrastructure, and we just realized, hey, you know, that's how we put the mine up instead.
But Rush Creek fell behind, so.
Well, they were way behind.
The grains are too many and too small to be picked up with the detector. The detector would go over the sands and would just go nuts. It didn't know what to do. So we panned the sands, just panned them underground in a we had muddy water up there, and that's what came out.
And that's what.
And then Charlie, the head, talk about hardcore. He is absolutely tireless.
And just an old-fashioned panning.
Yeah, well,
with it.
to get it out of the sand. Now his detector is a